Well, happy what the hell is it? Tuesday, January 31st. This is the Sci-Fi Center Live. This is a special version of it. Most of you know that I don't usually stream during the daytime. Usually I'm confined to the evenings because of schedule reasons. But I am off from everything today, and I'm going to be leaving here early. So this is going to be a really short stream, and the reason I'm going to be doing about maybe 45 minutes is because I have to go to see the premiere of Knock at the Cabin, starring Dave Bautista. A group of strangers happen upon a cabin and give the dwellers a ultimatum that could end up saving the world by M. Night Shyamalan. So I will be seeing that immediately after I'm done here. We've been promoting it all week. And like I said, I love Dave Bautista. He is evolving as an actor with each day. But so let's get to it. What are we going to talk about today? Just kidding. Some of you guys have seen me on another stream today. Most of you have read all the articles. You've seen James Gunn's presentation, so I'm not going to go over that. As far as like reading the article to you or showing you his video, I'm going to go up and down the projects that he's released, and I'm just going to judge him based on that. Like I was saying before, of all the stuff he released, it's like 10 projects. There's half of them I have no use for. I hope you all who have been waiting for some of those things enjoy them and you just have fun. But me, it's just going to be like the MCU, where the half that I do enjoy, I really dig in, and the other half that I don't enjoy, I just kind of like, I'll get around to it if it proves that some of these projects that I'm not really enthused about have an interconnectivity that is necessary for me to enjoy or you know enjoy with the rest of the universe, then I'll jump in. But I have the luxury of HBO Max, things like that. Some of these things are going to be on HBO Max anyway, so I might, it enhances my chance. But there are some projects that he released today that I am super excited about. So I'll go over some of my notes. And if you read the Variety article, James Gunn seems to recognize the previous regime's failings, and he gets right to it and calls them out. And like I said, that's to acknowledge the previous failure. And if any of you have ever watched me on anything, I have nothing but mainly disdain for their efforts. Not them as people, because I don't know any of them personally, but I can't think of a better term than indecisive pussies. We don't have a resolution to anything that Henry Cavill was in, Ben Affleck was in, any of those other people who were in during that era, because those guys had knee-jerk reactions and didn't know how to hold firm. James Gunn and Peter Safran are in their positions because those people failed. So nice of him to call them out in all their glory. So, all right. So some of the things that let me go ahead and say hi to the chat before I, jump into my opinions. All right, Pledge, how you doing? No, yeah, like I said, bro, I'm not annoyed at all. I mean, like I said, there are some of these projects that I think are just, I'm not even going to waste my time with them unless I see that it is necessary for, or that if the other half of the projects that I'm really enthusiastic about are connected to these things, then I will go see those things. But if they're loose connections or, like Booster Gold, been collecting comics since the early 80s. Never owned a store since I was, 19. Booster Gold has been around that entire time, and I have yet to have a use for Booster Gold. The Bat Family. There's a reason why the Bat Family, especially mainly Robin, hasn't been on screen as a kid. Every iteration of Robin has been played by a grown-ass man. Why? Because it's child endangerment. And I'm serious. They just never wanted to put. That's why Chris O'Donnell was like 31 or something when he played Robin in the mid 90s. Brenton Lath is in his late 20s, early 30s. I mean, these are grown men playing the boy wonder because it's literally putting a kid in danger. But and I said when I was on this other RJ stream, my favorite stories involving the Bat Family is when they got maimed or killed, simply because that exposed the fact that just having a Bat Family was stupid. You put on this mask to protect the people around you, and then you invite them into all the danger and liability that comes with being a bat. It just, I don't know how that is going to translate over into a movie. I like Damian Wayne, but I don't, but the rest of them, I mean, when you have the Batman family in a comic book, it's a lot different because the stories are spread out and there's a lot more pacing and a lot more time to tell those stories without taking away from Batman. In a movie, you have 2 hours. And if Batman's in a movie, I want it to be about him, unless he's with the Justice League or alongside Superman. The Bat family stories are better told, over long periods of time and in multiple volumes. But like I said, that wasn't one of the things that really nothing he said today sank anything for me. So I think it's a good day. I think it's a good day for DC. So all right, I think it's a decent mix of well-known and obscure. Yeah, and as long as the obscure is led by the well-known, we can't be doing what we did the last 5 years and having some obscure bullshit that nobody knows and then blaming the fans and saying they didn't support because they didn't know who the hell these characters were. If we're going to put some of these characters, these obscure characters in there that aren't household names, make sure they're in the atmosphere and in the orbit of the Batmans, the Supermans, the Wonder Womans, Green Lanterns, Aquaman, etc. So it looks like that's the strategy. All right. It feels like Zazov. Would you give me a project based on a well-known character? You can make one of it. Yeah, and that's I'll take that give and take. I'll take that give and take. Nah. Like I said, I was this is what he needed. They needed to do. They created a situation for themselves that they can adjust themselves out of if they need to. With the whole, and I'll go into that in my notes. All right, I agree on. Going to be interesting to see what it turns out to be. A lantern show got me excited. That to me, like I said the other day when on my stream, going into the day, a lantern series or TV show or movie was a must. And I even lowered my expectations and said, if you gave me the Green Lantern Corps, that I could probably dismiss anything else as long as you had that as your building block. But I got more than that today. So how you doing, Chappie? As the stream ends, a new one begins. Yeah. Playing Pocket League and people keep my team keep getting going goals. You need to get a new team, son. How you doing, Jar Jar? Hey, honestly, super excited to see this new DCU. Give me Brave and the Bold Batman. Like I said, the Batman's one of the ones I had an issue with because I was hoping for a singular Batman, but guess what? This is the cool thing about not having things, too connected, is that I enjoyed Pattinson Batman. If I want a singular Batman that's not dealing with any of the whole Bat family tree, then I can go watch him. I have options. Vince going, finally a live action Robin. I could have gone forever, but if you're gonna give me a live action Robin, give me the most kick-ass one that's ever put on. I love Tim Drake, but dude, Damian Wayne kills people. Makes no qualms about it. When you first see Damian Wayne as a kid, as in a baby, he's killing people. He's trained by an assassin. He is an assassin. He has to hold back. That one issue where he beats the hell out of the Joker and just toying with him, I mean, he's brutal. So if you're going to give me a Robin, this is the Robin I would prefer. Looks promising. Yeah, it looks promising. Like I said, today was a good building block, and the thing that I was hoping for most of all is that whatever we put out today set us in a direction of having a positive conversation about DC. For most of us, I think it will. There's going to be some people who are going to be angry no matter what, who came in predisposed. They hate James Gunn no matter what. And unfortunately, those guys are going to be, those guys are going to drag things down. But from a pure presentation and business point of view, I think, he's off to a good start. This is a foundation. We're not all the way there yet, but this is a foundation. You can build on what he put out today. All right, smash the like. Yeah, smash the like for both me and Enosh. I'm excited for Dan. Yeah, like I said, not thrilled to have a Robin on screen, but if you're going to put a minor in danger, at least it's one that could probably kill just about any adult he encountered, other than Batman. Let's see, Jared. I'm gonna go here. How you doing? All right, Vince. I'm not really into DC much, but I think this lineup sounds good. Yeah, so let's go. I'm gonna go over my pros and cons about everything that for the most part, like I said, without going into a whole bunch of detailed articles, like I said, because you're gonna have streams all day that are gonna do that. I'm gonna be on Enosh's stream later on after I get back from the movies, and he'll probably go through the article then as well. So I don't want to inundate you with that. All right, so I'm gonna start off with the bad. Not even bad. The stuff I'm saying is bad. It's just not at the top of my anticipation list. So, all right. So we're gonna start out with the not as great, is what I'll call it this. All right, the Brave and the Bold. Once again, we're gonna focus on the Batman family. The only good reading for me and I was when they got beat up or killed. Yes. Somebody asked me in the other chat. Yes, I dialed the 1-900 number to kill Jason Todd because the concept of Robin to me has always been stupid. Like I said, you're this big, disciplined guy who, like I said, he just puts up a wall around him, wears a mask to keep the people who come in contact him safe, and then he's just going to invite in a bunch of people, to a bunch of liabilities. But hey, so yeah, but like I said, that's not going to stop. I will watch that because I'm a Batman fan, and it's just a different dimension of Batman. And as long as I have another Batman that I can go to for my solo Batman stuff, I'm good. All right. So let's see. What's the all right, so the bad hold on. Jammed up my notes. Booster Gold. Like I said before at the beginning of the stream, I never liked the character. I time traveling aspect of him, the imposter aspect of him, I just never connected with him. I always knew when they changed up lineups and I got Beetle and Booster Gold that it was time for me to stop reading. Never been a fan of those. I know they're popular, never connected with me. But like I said, I'll give it a try. I think it's on HBO Max. I should have marked these which one's on HBO Max and which not. Creature Commando. Lukewarm on that one. Not one that just gets me jumping out of my seat. But like I said, as it approaches and I see how these things shape out, might give it a chance. The Authority was a surprise for me. I don't like the Authority as a comic on my shelf, let alone the prospects of it being made into anything like that. But once again, depending on how it's interconnected, I may it may change everything. Right now, these are just announcements, so to get the conversation going. All right, so one of the things that I already knew, but a lot of people kept on saying, "Well, Matt Reeves, they should just start the DCU and Matt Reeves Batman." I wanted to vomit in my mouth every time I heard somebody say that. Reeves didn't want it that way. The character that he designed was not designed to interact with people like that. It was good. So today, put this nonsense down that Robert Pattinson was going to be the DCU back. It was silly when you say it out loud to begin with, but now you see that not happening, so that's a good thing. He left the door open for elsewhere possibilities. He even mentioned things that would be distinctly in his DCU versus the things that would be in an Elseworlds. Now, what that does is that allows them to make adjustments and decide that they want to tell stories that aren't necessarily connected. For those of you guys who are in the Snyder stuff, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if you were ever going to get anything, it would be in an Elseworlds. If you ever were going to see Cavill again as Superman, it would be, even if you did Kingdom Come, Kingdom Come is an Elseworld story. So there's a lot of things that people bring up that wouldn't necessarily jive with what he's doing, but can still be done because you give yourself that out with Elseworlds. Another thing he did is he brought up in one of the articles that fact that not everything is going to fit on Warner Brothers screen or on HBO Max or those platforms. So he's like, so we're going to find out, and this is quoting Peter Safran. So we're going to find out there are certain shows that will be better served elsewhere, or if there isn't room on HBO Max or us. But we like the idea of having programs on Amazon, Hulu, Netflix. This only expands the DC audience. And that was, he could do Elseworlds with that. And a lot of people were laughing and shooting people down when the whole Netflix thing was brought up last week. And like I said, then the people who were shooting it down for the dumbest reasons. If you had a legitimate business reason why it wasn't going to work, that's one thing. But the bullshit reasons that people were trying to shoot it down, and all I got were bullshit reasons. You just had the guy who runs DC Films giving you a business framework for how something like that could happen. So that was a quote there that I was pretty excited about. And let's see now let's get into the things that I'm super excited about. All right. I love the title of this chapter one. Chapter one title is called Gods and Monsters, and that's literally what this is about. I mean, when you're talking about the Swamp Thing in the creatures and things like that, and then you're talking about Green Lantern, Superman, Amazons, those are gods. And it's great to finally see. One of the things I loved about Zack Snyder's presentation is that he treated Superman as if he were viewed as a god, and especially in BBS. And here it looks like it looks like that just by that title alone, the interpretation is going to be accurate with him. I am excited for the Waller series. Anytime you can put Viola Davis on any screen that I'm watching is great. I think she's great as Amanda Waller. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about how that leads in. Superman Legacy. The storyline that they're basing it on, if it's All-Star Superman, is one of the better Superman story out there. I'm not, like I said, not happy with Superman not being finished up by Cavill yet. But I understand the business decision. If Superman is going to be the focal point of the universe you're in charge of and you're going to be held responsible for, as Superman should be in any DC universe, then you probably want your own Superman. If you're going to be judged on how a dish comes out, you need to be able to pick the ingredients that goes into it. So I understand. So Superman Legacy, and I like the synopsis that he gives. So like I said, just beyond announcement-wise, Superman sounds like he's going to be the focal point going forward, and he said as much in his video. So I'm happy there. The Lantern series, once again, that was a must. The series is going to be based starting off with Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, which is how it should be because those are the two preeminent ones. But when you do Green Lanterns and there's a Green Lantern Corps, it opens up the door. There's 3,600 Green Lanterns throughout the galaxy. So Sector 2814 isn't the only one. He says it's going to be more like a True Detective type thing. That's great. That's a great start. But I would like to see it expand beyond that. And I think that's, as his universe grows, it allows the Green Lanterns to grow with it. I thought it was absolutely critical to have Green Lanterns as part of this announcement today, simply because it allows you to tell stories with different aspects of the same IP on different levels. You can tell Green Lantern stories in animation. You can tell them on series. You can tell them in movies. You can tell them in video games. And you could, if a certain Green Lantern doesn't fit that story, there's another Green Lantern that does. So I thought it was critical that he got that in there. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Based on, and it sounds like it's going to be written by Tom King. Tom King, I know a lot of people have different opinions about Tom King. I think Tom King is one of the best writers of this generation. And that title, Superman or Supergirl or Woman of Tomorrow, is great. If you haven't had a chance to read it, as a matter of fact, now that I know he's doing this, I'm actually going to do a Sci-Fi Center Presents on that particular series. I'm happy about that. I'm happy to see Swamp Thing get a legit shot this time. It was tragic that the BS that happened before because of the tax issues would cost them more millions. They killed that series by announcing it was canceled after the first episode was even aired. A lot of people didn't even give it a shot because they're like another dead end. So I'm happy to see something like Swamp Thing, and he says that's going to be not as connected, but it will still be connected. So a lot of people who got screwed out of their Swamp Thing, here you go. Let's see. So Paradise Lost, man. I wish I could go back and find the stream I was on where where we were talking about what kind of Wonder Woman and what kind of brutal Wonder Woman and Amazon that we could see. And I was talking about when they do this Amazon series, it needs to be brutal. It needs to be Game of Thrones like. And here we are now, with a Paradise Lost Amazon origin story. and it's been he's described it as a Game of Thrones type situation in the article, which is Game of Thrones. Like, you had me at Game of Thrones. I want violence. I want beheadings. I want everything that Game of Thrones gives me, but in the vein of what Amazons would do. The Amazons that Zack Snyder created were vicious. There was a picture of her holding a head in her hand during the Crimean War. But when we came on to Wonder Woman 84, it got softened up, and it was, it hurt the storyline. So there is that's just some of the stuff that he came up with. But like I said, I think this is a good start. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Like I said, The Authority, don't care. Paradise Lost, I'm excited for. Brave and Bold, like I said, I'm on the fence. Not really, the Batman family doesn't thrill me, but I'll give it a try. We're getting Batman 2 August 3rd. It's 2.5 years away, but okay. Booster Gold, no use for that. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Once again, really excited about that. Swamp Thing is going to be done in a horror fashion, which is different than a lot of the ways people did it. So yeah, this is a good start. Not everything I wanted, but it gave me enough, and it gave me possibilities. And now we can start talking about possibilities instead of the wretched disorganization that preceded these guys. All right, so let's see. Start answering some chats, because like I said, this is going to be a really quick stream, because I have to I got to get ready to shut down everything and go to the movies. All right, I anxiously await more news about GL, Superman, Bats, Damian, Supergirl. Yeah, like I said, today was just a general announcement, and now we start getting into that phase of casting, because he's not done with the script for some of these things. He admittedly said that some of these things are further along than others, which is understandable. And we have time now. Now that we know we have a beachhead established, we can start filling in the parts that need to be filled in. All right, it probably would have been best to just start off with a new GLA movie and then expand, since they're skipping the origin stories. It depends on how soon after these movies are released that we get a Justice League. I don't think that we're going to be waiting too long after Superman and Batman eventually meet that we're going to have a Justice League. And we don't know. He says there's a big mystery that relates to everything, and that there's a story that connects it and makes it possible. So I have to see what that story is first. But I there's nothing in anything he announced that says we're going to be waiting a considerably long time. And if we get a Justice League movie right soon after, we're getting it in the same pace that we got it with Zack Snyder, because it was the third movie out. Even though that version of Justice League was butchered, that's how they did it. All right, everything else, man. Yeah, everything else is like it didn't sink the ship for me, and I may give it a chance. It's just like I said, these are things that never had any appeal to me, in any venue, let alone big screen. All right, especially cartoons. As long as it's not 90s animation, we're good. If we're telling a consistent storyline, so if you're going to do something that's animation, but it's consistent with the live action stuff you're doing, I'm on board. The problem I had with animation, and especially in the 90s, is they told you a kid story and then let those kid stories influence the adult versions of these characters. And we ended up getting soft, G-rated versions of characters that were never meant to be put in front of kids. Like I said, when you look at Robert Pattinson's Batman bashing in a guy's skull, chasing him down through crowded streets and rolling over his car, and where Penguin should have been dead, and he's shocking and electrocuted. I mean, that's what Batman is. That is the sheer instrument of terror that Batman is. Batman is not for child consumption. That people have made him that way, and I think that has weakened the character. That's what 90s animation did for me when it comes to like X-Men and Batman, but this is different. We're putting it all on the same even fitting. So your cartoon should have the same characteristics and traits as your live action, and vice versa. That wasn't the case in the 90s. Batman Part 2. Yeah, at least 2.5 years wait. But by the time we get that, it's almost 4 years. Since why I need a connected universe, by the way. As much as I love the Batman, I'll be 75 years old by the time I get the trilogy finished at this rate. Triton K175 restored Snyderverse, release an air cut, Batfleck solo film, like James Gunn. I don't care. That is your right as a consumer. You were never. I don't think you were ever going to get the air cut, no matter, even under the best circumstances, because there was no business reason for them to ever do it. So I was restored in the Snyderverse. Once again, while moving forward with what he's doing, even the mention of Elseworlds gives you a shot at that. Batfleck solo film. I'm pretty sure that they're trying to convince Ben Affleck to be a part of this Batman thing. That's why I wish it wasn't the Batman family. But if I got even some of that, I don't need to fuck James Gunn as far as that goes, because it's not his fault. He didn't ruin the DC universe over the last 5 years. He was just given a task to go forward with it. And I can appreciate the fact that if he's going to be 100% on the hook, that he would want to have his own ingredients. That's fine. But I also say, and I've never been a restore the Snyderverse guy, because even Zach said it was a limited thing. I have been able to resolve the Snyderverse guy. I think restore the Snyderverse even goes beyond what Zach wants, because I don't need 25 movies of Zack Snyder type Justice League. I just wanted an end to what he began. I want a resolution, and the Elseworlds possibility leaves that open for us. So I'm ready to take a wait and see when it comes to that. But like I said, the air cut, everybody types that, but if it's not consistent with any story that's going to be, the only way you were going to get an air cut was if you were getting feature length Justice League 2 and 3, because the whole reason you even had those was to introduce Joker and Harley Quinn, and you saw what role that they were supposed to play going on. If you're not going to pursue that route, then air cut makes no sense. They made their money off of air cut in the theater, or off of the theater, and even if just to get it out there, just to get the director's vision out there, you're going to have to give somebody a business reason for the air cut. And there's been none. And that's why it's, it's not there. It's not that expensive to put out. If there were a business and narrative reason for them to put it out, it would have been out already. Even under Gunn, I don't see Gunn putting it out. Could be wrong. But, the restore the Snyderverse should be resolved as the Snyderverse. Release the air cut, that was a pipe dream. Flexel, I think you're going to get a Batman film directed by Ben Affleck. I would bet good money that this coming Batman, bet even odds that he'd be the director for it. All right, in the words of Lex Luthor, boy, we have problems up here. How has Gotham not been crime free with a Bat family running around? It all depends. There are 3 or 4 people, and you're talking about a metropolitan city. Why are any cities? You have thousands of cops that roam the street. Why aren't cities 100% safe? You have more criminals than you have superheroes, and not just of the superhuman variety. And some of the superheroes that some of the villains that they have are not just bargain great superheroes. Some of these people are really dangerous. It wouldn't be crime free if they were there from the start. That's just not the way crime works. How you doing, Anthony? Plush, Damian is easier to adapt because he was raised by evil assassin. Batman wouldn't be able to stop Damian from fighting. Yeah. Because he was what he was. The best thing he could do was contain him and try to train him and put a leash on him, because otherwise Damian would have just become a mass killer. All right, Chappie, do you think it's possible that Ben Affleck might direct The Brave and the Bold since he had meetings? I have no inside information. I don't know anything. This is just a hunch. I think that Ben Affleck is going to direct that movie. Like I said, that's just a gut feeling. That's nothing I read anywhere. That's nothing official that I've seen anywhere. That is just based on those conversations. That is just my feeling. But we'll have to see. Slipknot, what's going on? Honestly, William, I think the fact that this version of Batman for DC Universe is starting with Damian Wayne as Robin and Dick, Tom, and Jason already adult superheroes already. Yeah, like I said, if you're going to start with a Robin, which I think it's been a goofy concept since I was a kid, and it was Burt Ward playing him as a grown-ass man. But if you're going to start with a Robin, if you're going to add a Robin, add him that. If you're going to add a minor, least it's his son. At least it's somebody who, like I said, who's already in danger. It's not child endangerment like it was everybody else. You're already Damian Wayne is danger, and he's always in danger, long before Batman happened on him. So, Mwamba 85. Looking forward to a Waller Paradise Lost, Authority, and Swamp Thing. All of the above, the Authority, I'm just gonna have to wait and see. I was kind of surprised to hear about that one. So, not impressed. A lot of people will feel that way. I think it's a way forward. Like I said, half of it was like, but the other half was like, it's like Marvel. Out of the 30 some odd Marvel universe, just under half were a waste of my time. But I enjoyed the half that weren't. So, how you doing, Watcher? Well, do you think Superworld Woman tomorrow might be taking cues from the Man of Steel movies a little bit? I think so. I think if you read that comic, that comic is very reminiscent of that type of story. So Batman Part 2 and Superman both released in 2025, with the Batman 2 October 3rd, 2025, and Superman Legacy July 11th. Yeah, according to what they released today. But all that could change, by the way. I mean, things change, like, production schedules, all kinds of stuff. Those are just the projected dates. Carrie Kelly is underrated. Yeah, because she's only been in what, two series? Actually 3. And they've all been Dark Knight. And then I think she's been in some other medium, but she wasn't a regular Robin. She was, she's had limited appearances. Give me Robin in the sense of Hit Girl. Well, that would be Carrie Kelly, maybe. Jar. That's why I think Damian could work. He's a better fighter at that age than the rest. Yeah, and like I said, there's no child endangerment issues. That's one of the things that they never wanted to put on TV. They never really came out and said it, but it would, in comic books it's one thing, but when you put something on the screen for the general public to see, a grown-ass man putting a child in danger, a minor that he's supposed to be responsible for his safety, this just never flew on live screen. That's why when you see Robin, it's never a kid. When you see Robin, it's an adult. When you see Robin in the movies, he's an adult. When you see Robin in Titans, and that Britton Wraith is 30-something years old when he's playing Robin. He's still playing Robin. He may have been Robin as a kid, but they don't show you that. They don't actually depict Robin as a kid on the thing. Even Colin Curran Walters, the guy who played Jason Todd, is a grown man. He's an adult playing Robin, even though it was implied that he was younger. You clearly see that that's a grown man. And that a lot of the stuff that they wouldn't do for like the previous 80 years of this character's existence, they're softening up to doing now. You would not have been able to put Jason Todd in on TV like that, or on a movie like that years ago. And the fact that he ends up getting his head bashed in, and so Batman basically got a minor killed. So, it just didn't make any sense. All right, William, what are your thoughts on how they explain they're going to be building Clark Kent Superman for the movie? The basic bare bones of it was pretty cool. He's got to he's a guy who has values that seem to be outdated in the world that he's growing up in. So it's going to be interesting to see that. All right, so Damian Wayne. So that means an older Bruce. So Ben could do it, but I don't think so. Yeah, that's where the whole Bat Family thing, because like I said, he is older by the time he takes on any of these, people. So, because he was in his 30s when he had Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne, when we first see him, is supposed to be a 10-year-old. So yeah, you're talking about a much older. I will wait to see how they handle that. Hold on. Sure that we got about 15 more minutes to go, then we're gonna wrap it up. Just gonna make sure that I'm not missing, because I got a lot of people who are going to this movie with tonight. I just want to make sure everybody has the right theater. 615. Yeah, okay, that's the right one. There you go. If you're local, you're watching, and you got tickets to go see Knock at the Cabin tonight, it's gonna be at AMC Town Square. I'll watch the replay. I'll watch on replay. No Keaton, please. I don't think that James Gunn's plans for Keaton are the same as the previous regimes had for Keaton. I liked Keaton when I was growing up, but I'm grown. All right, enough of that. All right, Watcher, to be fair, Damian works best in the live action because Damian is an assassin that also rules out being stupid. for Batman to have a Robin, because he will clearly be, like I said, if you're going to do Robin and you're going to put a minor in danger, it's great that you're going to have a minor who he's not the one you're worried about. When Damian's in a fight, it's the other guy that you have to worry about, because Damian is vicious. And before he happened upon Batman, he had no compunction about killing. Given who his grandfather is, and given who his mother is, and given where he was raised. But what's been cool about Damian is the evolution of the character since they created him. He starts out as a vicious, hot-tempered kid, hot-tempered killer, brutal, torture. I mean, he does it all. But he has evolved into a detective, which I think is cool because of his experience and being near Batman and being influenced by Batman. He has evolved into a problem solver and a crime solver. And Batman has put that as his primary tool instead of the violence. And I remember when he told Jason this, forget about the costume, forget about all the gadgets and all the superhero stuff. Your best skill that I can give you is that of a detective. You are a detective first. And even Ra's al Ghul, Damian's grandfather, you notice even though he knows who Batman is, he knows who his true identity is, he doesn't call him Batman. He always calls him a detective because he always had that detective respect about him. So now his grandson has the most valuable aspect that he respected about Batman, which I think is cool. So I've always liked Damian Wayne. So like I said, if we're gonna put Robin on screen, then they chose the right one. Yeah, skipped Vincent Scott. Did I? Give me a Robin in the sense of Hit Girl. I think Damian Wayne's better. I don't think I skipped Vince's comment on, or was that it? All right. All right, William, I'm predicting that Damian in live action is not going to be 12 or 13. I'm predicting. I don't know. Depends on how old they're going to make this Batman, because he didn't have the affair with Talia until later on. So I'd have to see more details. Well, oh yeah, it's one of those days, Tree. Get Batman. My pick. I go. How you doing, Michelle? All right, let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll probably be after we go see this movie. I'll probably be on Enosh's stream later on tonight, and you know how he goes. It'll probably be an all-nighter. Yep, that's what it's about. It's good nerd chat today. Chappie William, do you think some of these actors have already been cast in their DC roles? That's what we'll announce later this year. I don't think most of them haven't been cast because I think there's still scripts being done. I think he was. I think there's. I think Superman has been cast, and that maybe I'd be weird for them to wait 6 months because he gave a date, and he usually doesn't give a date. He said unless he has a script done. So I'd say Comic-Con, but that's 6 months away. I mean, who knows? He has time though. So Larry, how you doing? I was nervous to look up the slate. I'm hearing it now for the first time. I need William to soften the blow. Like I said, it's what it needed to be. The announcements today what it needed to be. Like I said, there's some stuff there that I just have no use for, but I don't have to watch it. See, that's the joy. Just like the MCU, I don't have to. I don't have to endure Love and Thunder if I don't want to. But there's other great movies out there that I can. They put out enough of them to where there's variety there just in those announcements alone. All right, so let's see. All right, so okay, cool. Yeah, that's my channel. Thank you, dude. It's all right, William. What are your thoughts about the Authority? I cannot stand the Authority. I think it's a stupid comic, and I can't believe that they're doing a show about it. But hey, who knows? It could be another Peacemaker. Yeah, and I don't think in a good way. So, all right, what the hell's Authority and Creature Control? Authority is a comic. It reminded me of a poor man's the superheroes that are in Kingdom Come, where they basically take extreme measures because they think the world's falling apart, and it's a quarter comic for me, but everybody's different. Legacy of Superman title may suggest his kids are Superman family involved. I hope not. Possible, but I hope not. All right, guys. Son of all, yep. Son of the Dragon. There, it's Creature Commandos. Yeah, what do you say? Creature Comfort. William, I'm predicting the next William from Matt Reed Batman is either Rorschach or Scarecrow. Thoughts? Hopefully, it's neither one of those. I would like to see Mr. Freeze personally. The Watcher. Let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Hadn't been in here before, and so I was passing by and thought, "Oh, what's that? That looks interesting."
Cool. That's what I say every day when I come in. Watcher, who as hell is that? Okay, you guys are talking to each other in here. I've missed me too. See you later, man. All right, let's see. If the DCU survives, but as an Elseworld thing, then I want closure. Yeah. And like I said, by announcing an Elseworlds brand, that gives you space to operate and without really making a commitment and derailing what you're trying to do. So I like the announcement of that. Nazis. Wait till there's official Elseworlds now, or can I get more Snyderverse? I'm not making any promises, and I don't know what their plans are. But if you were ever going to get it, that would be what we've been talking about for years now. Go forth and do your own thing, but use the Elseworlds to resolve. Even if you do it, you can do Elseworlds cartoon. Don't care. Just want an ending. All right, Larry, possibly in the future, but possibly not a long time now since the Snyder actors are staying. Yeah, some of the Snyder actors are staying, so that kind of greases your skids. But what that does is that it makes these 4 movies that are remaining not necessarily throwaway movies, because they may have engineered these movies into their inner workings of what they have coming. So him putting that out there also makes it a lot easier to go see these movies and they not be a waste of time. Yeah, most of it is really, like I said, there's stuff there that I don't, I'm just like, yeah. And then, but there's some stuff on there that the stuff that I'm excited about, I'm really excited about. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna have to skip over some of these. Yeah, I was really happy to see that. I like Viola Davis. Any form I can get Viola Davis in. Which actors would you cast as DCU's new Batman and Superman? It all depends on what Batman we're talking about. Once again, we don't know how old this Batman is we're talking about. He's coming in with a kid, so he could be in his 40s. If he's in his 40s, then give me Ben Affleck and have him direct his movie. If he's not, then it all depends. I mean, if you can't get a Ben Affleck, John Hamm is perfect for me. But I couldn't answer that question without knowing at what stage of Batman are we talking about. Superman, it's a tough one because like there's a lot of people who don't necessarily look like Superman that can be made to look like Superman. So there's a lot of names that they've thrown out there. So that's a tough one. Carlos, Constantine 2, bye. Not necessarily, because it depends on if he wants to use Constantine in conjunction with Swamp Thing. I don't know if it'll be a Keanu Reeves Swamp Thing, because I don't know if that fits what James Gunn is doing, but not completely out of the question. Dave Bautista said he would be interested in playing Lex Luthor, saying it's interesting me. I totally up to that, James Gunn. More cerebral than wasting him on Bane. I actually have another character that I think that Dave Bautista would be perfect in playing, and I'm going to do a small pre-recorded stream on that in a couple of days. All right, don't forget all the slate that could change or even canceled when RFWB sells as a company again within 2 to 3 years from now. So I don't think it'll happen in 2 to 3 years, but it could also change if they don't get the results they like. I hope we don't have a bunch of knee-jerk pussies like we did in the previous regime who, because they didn't make $1 billion, wanted to scrap and ruin everything. So if we got people who have had this plan laid out to them and had the realistic numbers put in front of them, he has a chance. If a new owner comes in and thinks, nah, screw these movies, that could also. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, animation influencing. Like I said, I like the form of animation that he's thinking about doing here. Simple because it is more along the lines of a even playing field. We're using equal settings to tell stories on different formats instead of using something you've distorted and made for kids and then sprouting up storylines from that. That's why I hate 90s animation so much. All right, Grace and the others cry nonstop about it. Should be like the cartoons, but or maybe no. And Grace is a millennial. She's from a general. No offense to millennials, but unfortunately, most of you guys came along Batman, and your first Batman was that fucking cartoon. All right, and I'm happy that you're part of the Batman family with you. I'm happy to have you as a fellow Batman fan. But me personally, understanding what Batman was created and designed to do and what kind of stories that Bob Kane and Bill Finger created all those characters to do, it is not for kids. And if you read Batman during his Renaissance period in the 80s, you truly understand that Gotham, Batman, and the things that happen are not for child consumptions. Even though kids were the ones buying comics in the 40s, it was a different kind of kid in the 40s. Those kids were being exposed to World War, Depression, open warfare on the streets, where when they would put dead bodies, on the front page, and things were going on then. Are today's kids, you can't even show them, any blood on screen, or the parents are going to, censor it. So it's like, and that's fine. But the kids that were in the 40s and 50s are different than the ones you would not be able to release those type of things now. So when you say, well, it should be more like the animated series, you're basically saying, I want to rip the nuts out of Batman and neuter him so that he's suitable for kids. All right. I never thought Batman, go read The Killing Joke. Go read The Dark Knight Returns. Go read Batman Year One. Go read Batman Year Two. Batman is not for child consumption. And if you are going to put it in front of a kid, just like when my dad put me in front of horror movies, my dad as a parent had to let me know what the context was. This is entertainment. This is real life. You don't do this. But Batman in general was not meant for kids. And then, but unfortunately, people want to make a lot of money, so Adam West came along, and then Batman the Animated Series comes along. The Batman that's in the animated series is not the Batman that's crushing a guy's skull and telling you he's vengeance. So there you go. How you doing, Anthony? Kevin Davis, still do not care. They should release these films now and not in 2 years. People will get. That's the nature of Hollywood. Unfortunately, is like it takes time to make these movies. But if we had better management, we wouldn't be here prior to this. So I understand 100%. 2025, dude, fuck. That's why I don't care about most of the Marvel movies that are coming out later on in that phase 6. 2026, 2027? Shit. That's a long time. Yeah. It just kind of stunts your momentum. Their job, though, will be to use these movies that are now to wire them to what's coming, so that we have these movies that we have now. So we're just not waiting in a void. If they have structured and engineered these movies in a way that they are leading us up to what they got going, they would be better served in doing that one. So I hope that's what's going on. As soon as I saw the word Elseworlds, I felt some hope. I need resolution to William. Yeah, Elseworlds to me is a very creative tool, and I'm glad he's openly expressing that he can use it. Apparently, the Wallace series is said to be set between Peacemaker 1 and 2. Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't mind that. I love Viola Davis. Would it make sense to as a Blu-ray release? It's pretty much finished. You're talking about the air cut? It all depends on if they think it's worth printing. I mean, it's up to them on that one. Like I said, if I'm not going to get a direct Justice League 2 or 3 resolution right now, then I'm not. The haircut was never on my top priority list. To be honest with you. Hold on. One of my Australian customers, Leanne. Every time she comes in, I ask for a Vegemite sandwich network song, but she's bringing me an Australian candy bar to the movie today. So free food, yeah. Somebody needs to buy me Starbucks, by the way. Anybody who I got in for free to any of these movies, you really should walk up to me with a Frappuccino, espresso frap, double blended, no whipped cream, 2 headshots. All right, my only hope for the Swamp horror movie is that they give Guillermo del Toro a call direct. That would be cool. That would be really cool. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he'd do it or not, but that would be really cool. All right, Ryan Cinematic. I love the slate. I thought we were going to announce 5 project, and it was 10. Yeah, and like I said, even though half of those 10, I'm like, now we're having a conversation about what's next. Instead of what now, we're having conversations about what's next, which is the better conversation to have. All right, I got about 8 more minutes left. Ben Affleck has sons. He may want to redeem himself for quitting Batman. Yeah, you know what? Ben Affleck is one of those Hollywood guys who doesn't age, so he still looks like he did the last time he played Batman. All right, let's see. Panther God. I do want to see flashbacks of Dick Grayson as a 16, 18-year-old Robin. And they're very well. I can't see them not doing that, to be honest with you. If you're going to tell the story of a Batman family, I don't see how you do it. Even if he's adult as you come in, I don't see how you not. I think that's inevitable. Carrie Kelly is in a Nightmare Future. Yeah, she was riding the bus. Yeah, and Zach did say that. So there you go. Larry the Flash is wrapping up the DCU. It's wrapping up this version of the DCU and turning it into the DCE. But the way he made it sound is like it's not a reboot. It's more like an alignment. And the reason why you're getting a new Superman is because that's the focal point. It's like, somebody choosing a lightsaber and, being charged with going, protecting the universe. You want to choose your lightsaber if you are going to be responsible for what comes next. And him directing it, to me, they said he's trying to, Safran's trying to convince him into directing it. He has to direct it. There's too much on the line. That's James Gunn's legacy is on the line. He should be the one to direct that. Let's see. All right, I like the Bat family being a small family with a few people, but over the years it's gotten ridiculous and overblown, putting characters that shouldn't be there. I agree 100% there. Kenneth Corrali. Oh, wow, I haven't heard from you in a long time, Kenny. Very super excited for this new slate from DCU. Hopefully these new projects will be good. Still 50-50, but the future of film and TV and animation of DC looks promising under James Gunn. It does. I just wish we hadn't had to go through wade through the, sewage to get here, through the previous regime, but we're here now. So, by the way, it's great to see Ezra Miller still a Flash despite what people say. Yeah, and I was watching Cameo say, and they're like, nah, he's not going to be the Flash. He's done after this, and he very well may be done. But here's the thing, and he's saying that if Flash makes $1 billion, it wouldn't be because of Ezra Miller. He doesn't know that. We don't know that. We don't know how fans are going to connect with him in his first feature-length movie. But most people in general don't know or care about what Ezra Miller is. We have a small finite community, and then the case of Mabel, even if people don't know about it, there's going to be plenty of people who make it known, about what he's gone through. They don't fucking care. There's a difference between knowing about something and giving a shit about something. I can always bring up Deshaun Watson stood accused of over 20 sexual assaults and had to settle almost all of them out of court. All right, signed a $238 million contract on a season that he couldn't even play the first, 11 games of? Came out and they cheered him. All right, you can't assume the customer is going to care about these things just because they know about them. Their relationship with these athletes and stars begins and ends on that screen. All right, if you can get into that end zone, as long as you're not doing harming kids and things like that, and even then, Michael Jackson stood accused of things with kids. Could sell out the Tokyo Dome in 2 minutes. All right, so it's not up to us what people care about and consider to be too wrong for them to go to the movie theaters. And I think sometimes pundits and YouTubers and Twitter heads get that into their skull that in their small world, the things that matter in their small world matter to the rest of us. So But so I say it's 50-50, as for sir. I'm wearing my Cowboy No Money shirt, but we'll see. No Cowboy No Money. See, yeah, I mean, you have that right. We've all been burned. Not in the horror much, but Knock at the Cabin looks interesting. Yeah, I am in the horror, and M. Night Shyamalan, I love his movies. I do not like his endings. His endings piss me off. But so I know what I'm in for tonight. Like Red Hood, Batwoman, Batwing, Huntress, Catwoman, and now Harley Quinn. Quinn shouldn't be in the back. There's just too many. Yeah. Stopes Game Room. Damn you, stream. I know. And I need to stop. I never got into it as to stream as much as I do, but the conversations are there to be had. And just today was a bigger news day than most, but sometimes like I said, when I'm home at night, just getting off of work, eating my dinner, got everything done. Sometimes I just, have the energy to have a conversation, the same conversation that I would have here in the store or elsewhere. But, it's like 12 o'clock at night. I can't do that, but I can always push that play button. And then here we are, so I need to slow down, but today I couldn't. And then tonight, like I said, when I get back, I'm going to give a review for Knock at the Cabin, and then I'll jump on Enoch's stream. But yeah, hopefully the news will settle down, and so can I. Just Batman, Nightwing, Bob. Yeah, that's too many. William Burt Ward says he's a tripod, but looking at the old Batman series, I don't think he thinks so, man. Just saying. All right, am I too old to know what that means? All right. Holt Batman, my pick. Yeah, there's a lot of like I said, ham for me. It depends on how old. Heck, it should just be Batman and Robin in background. Nightwing left to be on his own. All right, Jim Gordon should be okay with Batman having underage Robin tagging along. And if we obviously ever found out, or when he finds out that his daughter's been, hanging out with him, and in some iterations being banged by Batman, but it's up to you. What up, Darth? Yeah, and that is, by the way, Commissioner Gordon's a cop. That's a crime. Child endangerment is a crime. All right, Hal Jordan, looking forward to Lanterns and Supergirl. William, what do you know about the Authority? I mean, I could go get it off the shelf. I read it a couple of days, but pretty lame. I mean, I never. It doesn't really sell that well with me. I don't know how it does. But you had Superman in the Authority, you had Batman in the Authority. You've had a couple of different series. I just thought it was cliche, but not a big fan of it. But like I said, I'll give it a shot. Let's see. Hank DZ. So you're coming around to with new information. I'm coming around to half of it, but there were certain questions, like, and I always said, I kept saying to not put the picture, disassemble the picture in your head that Twitter and Variety and YouTubers and Twitter heads have been giving you, and allow him to put those pieces together, because otherwise you're hating things just for the sake of hating it. I'm not happy that we have to do this. I'm not happy about having to realign things and that I invested into a storyline that I never got the end of. However, I understand the business aspect of it and him needing to go forward in his own way. Him creating a parachute in a possible elsewhere story allows for somewhere down the line to resolve some of these things that are hanging out. So I'm not fully there, but today was a great start. I also hated Jason Todd. Like I said, I already grew up hating the concept of Robin, and then you're not even the original Robin. And he was a punk. They made him unlikable. That's why it was so easy to kill his ass. How you doing, Droga? Just saw you. Oh yeah, Tim Drake's Red Robin is another one I don't like. I like him in certain stories. If you don't like Tim Drake, if you don't like there's a couple of stories that he's been in. He was a smarter of the ones, though. Like, his beginnings were, he the way he was written in the 90s was a lot better than he did some of the things that they did before it. Everyone have a great evening. DZ is back. I hope so. Like I said, I want positive conversation. Same with the Super family. Yeah. Other than Supergirl, I don't like the kid. I don't like Jonathan Kent. I don't like him having a son. That's me. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys talk about the slate tonight. Yeah. Like I said, RJ had a stream. I jumped on there for a couple of minutes, and I pushed mine back. And then, like I said, after I get done with the movie, I'm going to come back here and I'm probably going to jump on him because I'm assuming it's going to be a pretty long one. This movie is surprised to focus on a slightly younger Soup. Supposedly, yeah. Don't know how much younger. I'm just not sure. Due to lighting, Cavill looks like John Hamm in the Black Adam. I have to look at that again. Now that there's Elseworlds, I see a better hope for Constantine than before. Yeah, nothing's off the table. Or is that Croc? Okay. Oh no, and I'll do a stream on that. What I think, because like I said, anybody but Bane is a waste of a character in my opinion, and it would definitely be a waste of Dave Bautista's ever evolving acting ability. Bautista could be a major disaster. KGBs. I mean, there's a lot of. I just hope whatever role he takes is not a stereotypical one, just because he's got muscles. I mean, he's a brute. I can't get over Slope is here. I've only seen Slopes a couple of times. I think this is the second time. I mean, he may know me under a different screen name or something like that, but half of it was. The other half that, like I said, the things that I liked about it are overtaking the things that I'm like about, you know. Slopes Game Room. I'm sorry, Slopes Game Room. I don't think I've been to your site yet, but I'm not a veteran YouTuber. I've only been at this for a year, less than a year. So I will look you up and follow your site. Can we appreciate that the CEO creative references actual comics and says he likes specific comic storylines, even mentions the writers. Disney just uses the titles. It might end up being the same way for these guys too. I mean, it's hard to translate a comic into a movie, but I like the fact that he does. He's a comic book fan, so some of the stuff from the animated series would scare people in the 40s. I doubt it. You had Bugsy Siegel's eyeball getting shot out and it being on the front page. You had a bullet riddled John Dillinger's body at the autopsy being put on the front page. I doubt there's anything that would scare. And you had a world war that ended up killing millions of people that they were all going through. So I doubt there's anything. They call them the greatest generation for a reason. Those guys saw D-Day. Some of those guys experienced D-Day. I don't think there's anything that you could show them that would scare them. That's just me. I agree, Cartoon Williams. Go watch it. I watched all this. I watched it when it came out. I just didn't have him. Batman 66 came before the Killing Joke and all those violent takes on Batman. Yeah, no. And Batman spent decades trying to outdo that joke. That was why when you look at Batman 1989, which for its time, very brutal, very violent, that people were so shocked. They're like, oh my God, that's not bad. You know, and ended up making a ton of money because they went back to the core of what Batman was. Batman is a violent instrument of terror. All right. You know, it is not a good thing to run into Batman. And that was 1966. So, you know, that's like the Sid and Marty Krofft era. But that's not Batman. That's that version of Batman. But the Batman that have come out later on are more closer to what Batman was designed to be. By the way, I think it's cool that they're going to do both PG-13 and R-rated. Yeah, because there's certain characters you can't do PG-13 in my opinion. But hey. TW, one thing I love about the Reason Shazam 2 trailer, after the logo, there is a sting saying basically, hey, want to read the stories from that were adopted in this movie? Check out. Yeah, and I think they need to do that a lot more too, because I'm biased. I'm a comic book retailer. I destroys me the fact that the majority of the people who see these comic book movies will never pick up a comic book, you know, unless they happened into a comic book store. And comic books aren't as widely available as they used to be. I mean, you know, a lot of the bookstores that used to carry them are closed up. They don't always carry them at certain 7-Elevens. I mean, it's, you know, when I was a kid, even before comic book stores, and, you know, one opened up in my city, I could walk into any 7-Eleven or any Circle K, and even though it would be months old, I would still be able to pick up X-Men, Spider-Man, and everything else. And then once I got money, my own job, I started going to a comic book store, and then I can get the stuff out that it comes out new. But yeah, we just don't have that generation now that's in the comics. They know everything about Iron Man, Superman, Batman, but they know it from what they see on TV and what they've seen in movies. So I would like to get them. I would like for both Marvel and DC to do that a lot more. And because, like I said, once I get you in the store, I think I can make you a lifelong collector. All right, guys, I'm about to wrap it up here. The original Batman was running around with his underwear, shooting. Oh, well, he was bombing people. That was a Batman when I was a kid and had not been exposed to the comic books yet. The more, and listen, rest in peace, Adam West. You were my childhood Batman, and I'm not knocking Adam West's work. But when in comparison to what Batman was really meant to be, that was comic relief. That's not really the same. When he's dancing and he's surfing, I mean, that's just, it was 1966. So I don't hold that against anybody. And as a kid, I enjoyed it. But the grown-ass man, once I start reading Frank Miller's Batman, year 1, year 2, once I start reading The Killing Joke, once I start reading, The Dark Knight Return, So, you're talking about the original. Oh, okay, yeah. The original Batman carried 2 guns. Look at Detective Comics, early issues of Detective Comics. He killed people. He threw people off the roof, and then you were just supposed to assume that they landed safely. So yeah, I get what you're saying there. I'm okay with that kind of Batman because that's what Bob King meant him to be. I don't know what kind of candy it is. She just said she has Aussie candy for me if I'm going to be at the movie tonight. I'm going to be there. So listen, I'm a sucker for free food, especially if it's stuff I can't get or can't make. All right, the microwave is my god. So people bring me food, people bring me cooked food. As long as you're not trying to knock me off with poison, I'm going to eat it. All right. Customer did not have to do this. I got this person into a movie. You don't have to give me anything to give me in a movie. I'm joking when I say bring me coffee, but he knows I love Fatburger. And it was right after I got ripped off from that little itty bitty biscuit burger I streamed about. He brings me in a 3/4, a pound and a half Fatburger. Tore it up, man. I didn't turn that down. So yeah, if you want to bring me food, I'm all for it. Well, for me, I would like to find an actor who can do the martial arts stunts on his own. Maybe Scott Adkins. Well, I don't know, man. A lot of those guys can't, and I think we're losing that generation, like the Tom Cruise people who like do their own shit. And a lot of it is because of insurance companies that insure these guys won't allow it, unfortunately. But hey, maybe. I really want the Spectre and Phantom Stranger to do be in and the next Doctor Fate. All on the table, man. Well, I understand Damon is a trained assassin and a martial artist, but I still would rather have him in his mid-teens. And he may be. They still may get an older Damon. I just don't know at what point he comes into Batman's life in James Gunn's Batman. So, Watch Mojo is covered Ezra Miller. Yeah, but a lot of people are like, what? William, who do you want to be the first villain for the new Bat Family movie? I want to save Joker. Yeah, I think they should save Joker for last. A Clayface, man, Bat. Court of Owls. I think Court of Owls would be good, but it all depends on what the tone of this movie is too. Because see, Court of Owls is probably a better fit for Pattinson's Batman, but it all depends on what this Batman is what the feel is gonna be like, because you don't want to put a goofy enemy in there, and if you do, you want to refine him. But I'm thinking his Batman is going to be more comic book wise, more colorful. So Clayface has always been one of my favorite enemies, all versions of him. Mr. Freeze, just being done right, So I expect it from football players. William, how you doing, Rhea? Smash the like button, both of them, because I'm actually streaming on both ends there. Iggy, William Howell, what did oh, dude. Well, we're getting a new Superman, Superman Legacy. We're getting a Batman, Brave and the Bold, but it's going to have the Batman family. We're getting a Green Lantern show. We're getting a Wonder Woman show on HBO Max, which, like I said, the more I say that, the more I love that. A couple of different things. I covered all of it in the front end of it, though, and we'll probably cover it later on tonight. But some of the stuff was goofy that like I said, we're getting some stuff that I said Booster Gold, but like I said, I could enjoy it. So one thing that I encourage you all to do, though, is allow yourself to be open to this stuff and not necessarily blame James Gunn for the 5 years to 9 years of mismanagement. And if you do that, you might have a lot more fun with any of these things. what else are they going to do? They aren't brain surgeons, and you give them money to run with a ball and play school games. No, but what I'm saying is like for people who say that they won't, if the general public knows about what certain athletes and certain actors do, that they're going to care. And I just don't believe that. I think that if that actor is depending on what that actor's done, if it's not the job of the consumer to care about what goes on unless he gets put behind bars and convicted. And then we were referring to the Ezra Miller thing. So how you doing? Let's see. Why are you checking out Bert's package, Scipio? Oh, okay. Why did I even click on that? Why did I even click on that? How you doing, Faithwear? Let's see. Jeebus, everybody saying hi to Lanterns, maybe Swamp Thing. That's about it for me. I'll give those a look-see. But I'll still want the ending of the Snyder's Vision period. To me, what they did was like, man, oh, wow. Okay, thanks for that. I got to get that vision out of my head. But I do agree with you, though. Finish what you started. Exactly. How do I trust you with new money when you didn't finish with it? I paid you for the first time. All right, Darth Vengeance. James Gunn is a hypocrite. You can say that about any director, but okay. But you also got to realize if you're judging James Gunn on things he said as a director, those days are done right now. He's not just a director anymore. He's a studio head. So it's not hypocritical to act like a studio head. If he said something, I don't know what you would necessarily referring to, but if James Gunn said or behaved in a manner, thematically prior to him being this, it would be, like me being a peon at work and having an opinion about my job and then becoming the management. It's a different thing. So how you doing, Kiki? All right, Swamp Thing and Green Lantern. Finally, I don't have to hope. Yeah, I hope something happens and something else comes out to make people care about Shazam too. But like I said, it's going to be a tough go to get people to go see that. Sloper is someone with a check mark, meaning they have wow. Thank you for gracing my little, what I got like 100 something with your presence. Hugo Strange. I saw the comparison. So yeah, Hugo Strange. William, do you think that Cyborg would have his own standalone film in DC? I would say no, but you're dealing with a guy who gave me Captain Boomerang. So who knows? Jose Aguilar, what up, William? My honest reaction to the slate was who? Oh, that's cool. Who? Finding some Lantern Swamp Thing, nice. Well, that was all right. That's fair. That's about, for a day one presentation, that's okay. And now as it goes further, will I expect more? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. We'll need a little bit more. But today, first reveal, I'm all right. Exactly. Now we can start conversations going in a better direction, people can make their determination. If they, like I said, if I'd have looked at this slate today and said, yeah, nothing in there I'm interested, I was more than happy just to move on and talk about other things. But there's some stuff in there that I can carry on a very hefty conversation with. Just glad the wait is finally over. Now we just pretty up. All right, William, what are your thoughts on my last comment? What was your last comment? Oh, I answered it. Yeah. Depending on what tone this is, quarter hours or click pace. But it all depends on what kind of Batman, what kind of tone Batman we're getting. One thing that surprised me is that they didn't announce a new Batgirl, especially the heads James Gunn and Safran. Yeah, who knows? Like I said, there's more to come. This was just the beginning, so you could very well get, and it could very well be her. Hopefully, from what I heard, the movie was trash. So hopefully they put those same people in a better situation. William, what are your thoughts on my last three comments? I responded to your last three comments. Yeah, I haven't missed your comments. All right, Safran trashed their Batgirl movie again today. They're never going to work for DC again. unless they have no day. No, they already said that they would. But to see, here's the thing, though. The Batgirl movie that they made was under bad management. It wasn't their fault. They were given a low budget and they were told it was going to be for a streaming service. So I could see them, working with them again under better circumstances. All right, it's an hour and 16. I'm going to give this another 5 minutes. That's awesome. About the Shazam trailer, they should always do that. Yeah, across the board. That's plausible. I got a better role for him though, and I'll go into that later. I grew up Bale 27 years ago. Ooh. Yeah. All right, Jose, that's bullshit because if it was reported a while back that Dave, the film junkie, said in his live stream that they are having meetings with James Gunn and Peter Safran. Yeah. Listen, these guys, they were in a bad situation under bad management. Nobody blamed them or Leslie Grace or is that her name, Leslie, for what went down in that. So I didn't see where he was doing that. So yeah, see, Injustice is a little bit further along. So I'm just wondering when they're going to bring him in. 39 in May. Oh, wow, kid. Comic Tropes was a great video counting the Batman's kills from the comics. Yeah, I think I've seen that. That's actually pretty cool. How you doing, Kevin? No dog here. Safran also said truth, justice, American way. I guess they didn't get the memo. DC has changed that. All right, let's see. All right, somebody named Edits. I'm moving on from this whole mess. The Flash is going to be my last DC film, kind of like my farewell film for me. If you think about it, since they stuffed the film with way many characters I love. Let's see, and to think that Henry and Gal were meant to be in Elseworld as well, and it as well makes it more like that they wanted us to be happy one last time. Seriously, no reason to cut them out. Yeah, I agree with that. But I understand the business reasons why it was done. Yeah, Wonder Woman is still in the Flash. Yeah. All right, guys. How you doing? Fourth always feels like a rushed Elseworlds already digging into the obscure characters. All right, that's it. I have actually gone more than I thought I was going to go, but I wanted to make sure I got all the questions, and I'm actually going to go to the movies, and I'm going to be back tonight. I don't know what time I'm going to jump on Enoch stream. Depends on how much energy I have left after all this, but I just wanted to jump on because it was a particularly different day than anything else. And I didn't want to wait till midnight to get out there, and a lot of the streams have had like a lot of people on them, so I wanted to try to give you my voice before I jumped into a crowded screen. Where you might not hear 100% from me. So thank you for coming to this special presentation. I hope this is the first of many positive DC conversations that we're going to have in the future. I think we're off to a good start. I understand why some of you don't feel that way, but I think that, like I said, given what we've been through the last 5 years, it may not be the exact step in the right direction we want, but it's still a step in the right direction. So with that, I will see you guys later on this evening.